So everyone's telling me that premium is dying, but I just saw a Vortex Dragon clone on Dear Days, and now there's Vintage Fight, and who knows, maybe they'll bring back Vanguard Zero and Shadowverse, but can somebody tell me how do I actually play the Nintendo Switch 2? Like, so do I plug out the controls and give them a crit or what? Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Mr. here. Today I am back to cover the end of DZBT06 at long last. I said in the previous thumbnail video and maybe in the Glory Maelstrom video, I wanted to cover every highlight of DZBT06, and today marks the last one. It is Gramgrace Sieg. I know all my Gandiva Mask fans are molding. I just want to let you know I actually have a list finished. I don't know if I want to do the video or not. So let me know in the comment section below, because if you want it, I will consider. No promises. But other than that, that's pretty much about it. Today we are talking about Gramgrace Sieg, the original protagonist of Dear Days 1, who is coming back in Dear Days 2, now with a whole new cross ride. Or is it? And today, as usual, because I cannot do Gramgrace alone, today I have Fader Forth.
Yeah.
So, this was one of the earliest things they revealed for DZBT06. And when it came out, a lot of people didn't really know what to take of it. They thought, oh, it's like Gramgrace but worse, it's Gramgrace but better, oh, it's Houndraiser. But I think today, I would like to put that argument to rest that this deck actually has something that the format has forgotten about. A lot of people right now who've just finished in English, you guys, a lot of you are talking about, oh, go first, win, play a lot of great trees in the deck, they have low shield value, high variance, you know, infinite ice marker, Levidras. But today, I want to present an alternative on how you can win. You don't even need to pull critical triggers if you have the critical effect. So that's really about it. This deck has a very interesting win con, i.e. the Houndraiser win con, i.e. the Undercover win con. But we don't play 16 birds in the deck, so I'm sorry my Vaseup fans, this video's not for you. But okay, let's get right into this. For our right line, we start off with Tegria. We are playing Tegria strictly to fool people. You can play any starter you want, because our grade 1 is Blaster Javelin. Yay! So this is my plugin for my PBO Divines video, because none of you watched that. I know none of you watched that. So if you forgot what this does, too bad. No, I'm just kidding. When rolled upon by a unit with just Blaster Dark, or even worse. When rolled upon by just Blaster Dark, you can superior call the top card of your deck as rest. And the whole gimmick is that you ride up to Blaster Dark. And then after that, when placed on Vanguard Rearguard Circle, CB1, retire one of your rearguards, and retire one of your opponent's rearguards, this unit gets a drive. So the whole point is that you utilize Blaster Javelin to call somebody at rest, then you have Blaster Dark to murder it, and Blaster Dark can now be a 10k grade 2 with Twin Drive. The whole point of this is to just sack your opponent to death. And also to give you early control, because in the current format, a lot of people are actually trying to rush. A lot of people think they actually, have a chance against playing against Gramgrace. They are sorely mistaken. And the idea is just to snipe their dreams off before they even get the chance to say no guard. The second skill doesn't matter, as with Javelin's second skill, because you're not playing them in the main deck. There's no way you're gonna call them, right? Like, even if you call Blaster Dark Zephyra, you've already lost. So don't bother. And then of course the titular Gramgrace Sieg. Very nice SEC, and we got the SR2. Yeah. But yeah, tell us what it does, Mr. Came in the Nintendo package.
Okay, so Gramgrace Sieg is very, 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 very similar to the original Gramgrace, except they took out some things and they added some new things, and I'm not sure how I feel about those things that they took away. And I definitely know how I feel about things that they added. So
okay,
he keeps the same continuous skill as the original Gramgrace, is that during the turn that you personal ride, the power from the personal ride also applies to the back row. So it's same as Serral, same as the original Gramgrace. If you personal ride, basically your entire field gains the 10k, not just the front row.
Okay, that's the same skill as before.
Yeah, and the second ability is the one that is much more complicated, I feel. So the original Gramgrace was Color Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, draw 1, and call 1, and then the called unit gains the continuous effect to attack from the back row. Center back row, and it gains 10k power. So now Gramgrace Sieg is just Soul Blast. It's just once per turn, Soul Blast 1, and you choose the unit in the center back row. So basically the unit behind it.
Anybody,
and it gains 10k, and it can attack from the back row. So no draw, but no longer do you need a CB. So
Yeah.
it's give and take. The fact that you don't need a CB anymore means it's probably one of the best economies for Keter Sanctuary overall, because Keter has always been known for the CB gating. Oh my god, everything needs CB. Oh my god, where's my aerial siege?
Oh my god, aerial siege.
Aerial siege, save me. But so Gramgrace not needing a CB anymore makes him one of the very few bosses in Keter that can basically run a very lean CB package with the rest of the Keter staples that we have. And the best part of is that if your opponent is grade 3, this second effect gets upgraded by one. It gets upgraded even further, which is that you choose the unit that you selected to get the 10k and the center back row attack, and itself, and they both gain a crit for energy plus 3.
So every turn you get 3 energy, right? Now you just pay back the 3 energy. Your Vanguard gets a crit. Your rear guard gets a crit. That's 4 crit. Your 2 rear guards at your side, these two, when they attack, they are 1 damage each. The total number of damage you can deal in one turn
is
6. So congratulations, Gramgrace. You have now reached Angel Feathers levels of bullshit. You are officially a OTK deck. So yeah, that's wonderful and all. But there's still one more skill we are missing. What is it?
So the third skill is about the same as the original Gramgrace, which is that at the end of the battle that your center back row unit attack, you must send it to the soul. And then at the end of your turn, if you had sent a unit from your center back row into your soul, you draw one. So the original Gramgrace, the draw timing was very awkward because it was as soon as the center back row unit attack, you go into the soul, you draw one. So now that's no longer the case. Now is you draw at the end of the turn. So while that may seem like it's a really good effect, because cards like Esonia, Sephiras, cards like Sarges, they help you stack the top card of the deck. So now you no longer ruin that stack. You can actually use that card on your drive check.
Yes.
But the problem is that you don't get the card in the battle phase. So if you have any cards that you require you to discard during the battle phase, you no longer have the funds to do that now. Yeah, so Fernbill is the biggest culprit, because Fernbill has always been tied to the original Gramgrace, which is that you sow in one card and you draw one, and Fernbill is supposed to be the opposite. So you sow blast one and discard one to get your Vanguard triple drive. So now you no longer can pay the Fernbill cost very comfortably. So you have to always be wary of keeping a card in your hand to do basically the same thing as you did before, because they just changed the timing.
But for you preparing for all these, like if you actually read what your cards do and plan ahead, do you think this rewards you more than the original, or the original rewards you more than this one?
I feel this rewards better deck building, but the original rewards better playing, I feel. Yeah. But obviously, extra crit is extra crit. It's already a very big upgrade in general, because the problem with Gramgrace last time was that the kill power was very bad.
But now they just fed you all the crits from Majesty Lord Blaster.
So now they give you very good kill power, but then you have to actually plan how you want to build the deck now, rather than just throw Keter power at the wall and then just see it probably works.
Yeah, but Keter power. Okay, we'll talk about Keter power another time. I'll put a link in the description for the Keter power video, because again, now that more people are talking more about it, less people even know about it. Like, what does it actually do? So I'm just gonna link that video in the description. Okay, now let's move on to the rest of the deck. Our grade 3s, we obviously play 4 copies of Gramgrace Sieg with 1 in the right deck. You don't need to know why, because this is a Persona based deck, so no explanation here. 1 card. The Persona right means everything to us, so we just need to maximize that.
Yeah.
The rest of our grade 3s, we play 3 copies of Sarges, my goat, my favorite intern. 1 copy of Fernveil. Everyone's favorite Gramgrace goat is still alive and well, albeit he's only at 1. You can play him at 2, I think it's up to you, but that's also because Gramgrace has a new side chick that is
Knight of Flying / Esmir.
Okay, so
yes,
let's go through them one by one. The Personas, the Personas, I've already covered it, so that's really about all I can say.
Yeah, I think regardless of the fact that now you're a lot more flexible when it comes to the Persona, is you still desperately do need to Persona every single turn if you want to win. So you might as well just play the Guardians
just to up the numbers.
It's reprinted in your Gramgrace deck set.
Yeah. The only issue is because you are now playing orders, Blaster Javelin actually has a chance to break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
the main reason why we're
keep
playing
that in
this right line is because in our attempt to play Blaster Dark, we also want to make sure that we don't use too much soul, because if you have not noticed, Gramgrace needs a soul in order to do anything. So if you start your turn without any soul, you
lose again.
Yeah, you lose again.
Yeah,
So you can experiment obviously with Marin and Vanguard, but then there also is the telegraph what right line you're playing. So this at least gives you some help in a sense that your starter is not immediately telegraph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to our other great trees is Suggest. Suggest is an old friend of mine. He has a very simple set of skills. I've talked about him to no end in either the Bastion video or the Ezel video, so really I don't want to spend too much time on it. He's basically a Festival 2023. Wow, that's 2 years ago. He's basically a Festival 2023 cycler, so when your opponent checks a drive or damage trigger, this unit gains 10,000 power, 10,000 shield, and when this unit attacks, you can look at the top card of your deck and put it to the top of Soul. Then you can counterblast one if you want, and if your opponent's Vanguard is 14k or higher, you can copy his power onto your power as well. Or
additionally, you can do both effects.
Additionally, if you remove an over trigger, you can choose one of your other units and it gains 15,000. Again, this is just numbers.com. There is no joke here, but considering that Gramgrace has a high crit thing now, you can also dice it up with some numbers all through Suggest, and it makes for it very well. Even beyond Difflin, I'll say, because Difflin costs a counterblast, this one is relatively easier to achieve.
And at the end of the day, he is 10k shield. If your opponent like the new anime episode is saying your deck team is deck winning, so if your opponent deck teams, that just makes Suggest all the stronger on either your turn or the opponent's turn.
Yeah. Definitely worth considering. If you play any form of non-meta Keter Sanctuary deck, you should definitely be playing Suggest.
Yes.
The rest of our great trees all focus on the same aspect: 4 Esmir and 1 copy of our usual goat Fernvale.
Yeah, so Fernvale is the same as it's always been. It's just the foil version from Triple Drive Booster. So center back row at the end of the battle that this unit attack a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, if your Vanguard is Gramgrace, you put this guy into your soul and soul blast. You soul blast 1 and discard 1 to choose your Gramgrace Vanguard, and it gives 10k and an extra drive. So note that this only works after it has attacked the grade 3 or greater Vanguard, which means that you have to wait until your opponent is grade 3 to be able to use Fernvale, which was the original the nasty part of playing Gramgrace.
Go second.
99% of the effects is it's like 99% of Seed was only active when your opponent is grade 3.
Yep.
But going second in current standard is basically suicide, which is why you don't really see them, unless you're a Messiah, you don't really see them really strike decks winning these days.
But there is someone who can solve the go first and go second matchup, and that is
Esmir. So Esmir is the newest, and I mean very very new, because as you can see this card says 2025 on
Happy New Year.
So Esmir is a very very recent promo for Gramgrace.
We just came back from beating some children. That's how.
And it has two skills that are very very that do help Gramgrace quite a bit, I would say. So the first skill is that act from drop zone. During your turn, if your Vanguard is a grade 3 Gramgrace, then you may Energy Blast 3 to call this card from drop to rear. And it's not lame lock, it's not once per turn, so
you can even call multiple copies.
Yeah, so you can call multiple copies. But the problem is that your Vanguard uses energy, Esmir uses energy. So
the thing is that if you're going first, right, if you happen to go first, you will have 6 energy. You spend 3 energy on your crits eventually, and then you have 3 energy for your Resurrection Call, which means every turn when you get 3 energy, you kind of have to choose one of the 2 effects. But if you started going second, 9 energy, right, you use 3 for your crits, 3 for your revival, even when you go again and get another 3 energy, you can do both plays again, which is generally why going second for Gramgrace alongside the crit +1 is the better option for this deck. That being said, the deck can still do a lot going first, and that's mainly because of a second effect.
So a second effect is almost word for word the same as Fernvale, except that it's cost Counter Blast instead. So is when any other battle this unit attacks from any rearguard circle, you put this card. You choose your Gramgrace Vanguard and you give it 5k. But if this card attack from the center back row, instead of you pay Counter Blast 1, and instead of it gaining 5k, your Vanguard gains an additional so your Vanguard gains 5k and +1 drive instead of just 5k. Yeah. So if it attacks from anywhere,
You just give it 5k for free.
You just give your Vanguard plus 5k. That's it.
So it's basically a better defense.
But if it attacks from the center back row and it goes to your soul, then it just gives the Vanguard 5k and plus 1 crit instead of the plus 10k. No, plus 5k plus 1 drive.
Which means when
versus
this
20
unit,
bills plus 10k plus 1 drive.
which means when this unit attacks, eventually it can be either an 18k triple drive Vanguard going first or an 18k 2 crit Vanguard going second. And with Persona, it goes up to 28.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's a lot of pressure coming from a small guy with 2 swords. So, yikes. Again, this is a absolute must play for Gramgrace, in my honest opinion. Like, if you want to play Gramgrace Sieg in the environment, I'm sorry, you absolutely have to pick this card up because it just solves a lot of problems for the deck. I kind of wish it wasn't grade 3, but at the same time, I'm okay with it. So, that's really about all I can say about it. It's a shame they didn't put this in the main deck, but honestly, I'm alright with it being a tournament promo, given that it's not too expensive here. Not too bad. It could be worse. You can be Clarissa. Okay, moving on to our grade 2s. Our grade 2s, we play the titular Blaster Dart. He's here. He's back again. What does he do? You should rewind the video if you forgot. We play 4 copies of Aspronia and Saphira and 3 copies of Kyrie. So a lot of our grade 2 options, as you can see here, all use a Cowl Blast and all game very early and aggressively. So Blaster Dart, we've covered him before. To no end on this channel. Kyrie is very simple. When placed on the Vanguard circle, from anywhere mind you, Cowl Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1. Look at the top 3 cards in your deck, choose one from among them. If it's a grade 2 or less, you call it. If it's a grade 3 or higher, or not a unit, you can add it to your hand. Right?
Yeah, so basically, Kyrie, you just top 3 and then you review whatever you want to from the top 3. If that card is a grade 2 or lower unique card, then you must call it. And if it does not fulfill that condition of grade 2 or lower unique card, then you just add it to your hand.
So it's just CB1, SB1, do I want?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So this is here mainly because it's one of the best main phase Soul Blast that Keter has access to, because in case you haven't noticed, this girl Esmir is not the loop for her is not self-sustaining because you Soul Blast because Gramgrace Sieg Soul Blast in the main phase, and you need to already have Esmir behind the Vanguard in order to be able to do it. You can't just have Esmir in the soul and then dig her out to get her back to the regular circle and then Soul Blast. It's like the loop doesn't work like that.
I see.
So that's why playing any form of Soul Blast during either the battle phase or the main phase is always very good. The main reason why we're not playing something like Kawala is because number one, I really don't like Kawala because
nobody likes Kawala.
He's Raziel's his new favorite person is Raziel now, so sadly I can't really say much.
March ban list.
And also because in the similar vein of playing Veltrosa is that Kyrie is just really good at just digging anything whatever you want. You also get your it also is one of the only ways you can search Persona right in this deck.
Yeah.
There's no other way to actually get Persona right. Like Kyrie doesn't search Persona right. This doesn't search Persona right.
There is.
No, there isn't. No,
you can search the card.
Yeah, you can search that, but Kyrie actually lets you search, just add Gramgrace to your hand.
Right. You can do anything.
The only card that can let you do it. Even Veltrosa cannot do that.
Oh.
So if you want to play Veltrosa, that's also perfectly fine, but then you lose the main phase Soul Blast. And Kyrie basically does the same thing as Veltrosa but worse, except you also get to add Persona.
I mean, Kyrie is just Veltrosa 1.
Yeah.
Alright, now
speaking of Dual Nation,
let's move on to the noisiest girl in the room. This is Aspronia and Saphira. This card will cost you money because it belongs to Levidras. So to all Levidras players, we are sorry we stole your favorite card. Sincere apologies. Let me know in the comment section below. We won't respond to you. This girl basically terraforms the entire Gramgrace deck for reasons you don't actually expect. It's similar to the same way that Saphira can call out Shellnet in Levidras, but we are using it to a much more dangerous degree because we have a freedom of not needing to call the card from Gramgrace's skill. It just needs to be on the board. So any way that the grade 3 Esmir returns to the board is a plus in our books, and that's exactly what we're doing with Saphira. But of course, Saphira is known for much more devious and noisier things in the general public, so if you already know about this card, I'm very sorry for your loss. I'll just read through it once, just so we're all clear, but I even covered it in the Cristiano's video, so I sincerely doubt you don't know what it does. When placed on a Vanguard circle from your hand,
outside of the battlefield
phase, thank you for protecting us from Night Rose. You can look at the top card of your deck. and you can put it on top or mill it. Then counterblast 1 if you want, and do one of the following. Either call a grade 2 or greater card from your drop zone, or choose an order card from your drop and add it back to your hand. Saphira is grid shape and some level of Oracle Think Tank nonsense, and Levidras squeezed into the most noisiest and annoying card known to man. But my god, it works. The thing about Saphira is that if you are counterblast denied, you can still use the top card Scry effect. And if you hit something like Esmir, you can just mill it. Then it triggers on the draw. That's the joke. That's the entire punchline. You can do that now. But not only that, if you just happen to check a trigger, just leave it on top. And a certain man in black will do the rest for you. So realistically, no matter how you open with this card, it's nonsense. And if you have a counterblast, if you're being rushed in this very aggressive format, you can just throw a Sages or throw him or Esmir just back on the board, and you can tri-lane your opponent with just one CB. I cannot stress to you how strong that is. The fact that you can compete for 13k beaters against a grade 1 Vanguard is unfair and should be banned. Levidras, we're coming for you. Moving on to our grade 1s. Our grade 1's very simple. Blaster Javelin, surprise! Yep, it's still him. So if you forgot what he does, I'm sorry. Please wind backwards in the video. We will be here for you. We play one copy of grade 1 Maple because when you Persona Right, lol, things happen. This one's just a free +1 on the board. We didn't play the grade 2 Maple because we have a lot of better beat sticks, but I just want to say you can play grade 2 Maple if you want. It's just something we don't.
The main reason why you don't play grade 2 Maple is because grade 1 Maple doesn't have any way to remove herself on the board unless you're playing Tegria. So Tegria is like she has the ability to remove herself on the board after you stand her and then boost again.
And then you can loop her.
Yeah, because grade 2 Maple is very restrictive. That grade 2 Maple you need to not have a single card on the board with Maple in its name to be able to call it.
Right.
But grade 1 Maple only looks for herself. Yeah. So if she's on the board and then you Persona Right, you want to call grade 2 Maple, you can't call grade 2 Maple.
Right.
Yeah.
For PGs, don't play Sanctitude because it will clash with Blaster Javelin, but we are very greedy. We believe that we can top deck everything, so that's why we're playing Sanctitude. But if you're playing Blaster Javelin, please don't play Sanctitude. Just play 4 normal Perfect Guards, it's for your own health. The rest of this deck is generally very simple from here on out. We play 2 copies of Kriegwell. I've covered Kriegwell enough in my DZBT06 Cyclers video, so I will not cover it anymore. Just know that its main purpose is to search every other grade 3 in the deck. So all your grade 3s that we mentioned that's not Gramgrace, even your Persona Right Cup, you can search it out. However, that being said, the only true way you can search Gramgrace Sieg himself is through Kybre, so just keep that in mind. Not only that though, this girl also gives us extra shield when it does matter, and this deck doesn't have that much shield, so it is appreciated. But again, I will beg you to please take a look at the DZBT05 Cyclers video. I will link it in the description below so that you guys can watch that. That's really about all I can say, yeah. Because everything that I can say about this card, I've already repeated it before, so we'll just skip over this one, okay? The rest of this deck is, God knows, very simple. 4 Painkiller, 4 Cell Gown. Cycle, rip, beat. Cycle, rip, beat. Simple. If Raziel thinks he's special, he's got something coming. And our grade 0s, very simple, Tegria. It's just Tegria. Play 4 heals. Because we want to stay alive. I'm not sure, some guy told me Batman doesn't play heals. Okay buddy, but I still want to play my heals. I'm still interested in staying alive. So it's in my deck now. We play 4 fronts from DZBT06. This is the Soul fronts. I've already talked about the Soul fronts in another video, so I will link these again in the description below. I realize now that I have a bad habit of covering generics. Someone please help me. I think this is an illness I'm suffering from. I may not live to the end of this year now. We play Blue OT. I've not done a video on this one. This is just +1 crit. Choose a card from drop, add back to your hand. So for the deck that literally plays 7 crits in 8-1 is okay. Also because Amatinoa does nothing for this deck. I understand that Gramgrace Sieg now plays a lot of grade 3s, but the timing of Sieg is that the grade 3 back row attacks first, then the grade 3 front row attacks. So if I check Amatinoa, it's not going to do anything. Okay, so I just want to stress that real quick. You need to play Cray Elemental over Trigger. You can't play Amatinoa in this deck. It just doesn't work. I mean, if it works, good for you, but it's never worked for me, okay? And yeah, that's going to wrap up the Gramgrace Sieg deck profile for Dear Days 2. Yay, this is technically our Dear Days coverage, hooray. One of my thoughts on this deck, I think this deck is very good. Pretty sure the thumbnail would have told you that already. I really believe that decks like this need to be made more often, not because they're expensive in terms of financial costs, but because they can give you a generally threatening grade 3 going second game plan that doesn't involve 16 cards sitting on my right shoulder. I think the idea of decks more rewarded going second and going first is really what we need in a format where everyone believes Raziel is the biggest thing in the room. It's not, it's Levidras. But I like seeing decks like this that are unique in their identity, that can do things that Hound Razor does but better. I would really appreciate if they give Gramgrace just like one more card this year. But again, like I've always mentioned, the strength of Gramgrace is that he has infinite human potential. Every Keter card is his card. So, you know, I would really like to see more and more cards that can be attuned with Gramgrace together, be released in the year of our Lord 2025, because Ichidoji Yuki deserves it. I really feel that this is definitely one of the most fun Keter decks I've played in a long time, and I'm the Majesty of Blaster Defender, so I get a license on talking about fun decks. So yeah, that's really about it. What do you think about it from a competitive standpoint?
It's not that competitive.
Really?
Like, to me, it just feels like it's the same deck as before, but you threw out your best card and then replaced it with a card that's like 1% better in a sense. So it sort of feels like they wasted the support wave this time because they just gave Sieg on
A better.
Yeah, they didn't really change a lot about the deck. It's just they just gave it crit. So it's a bit boring. It's a bit more boring of upgrade, especially because I waited 2 years for this upgrade. So it just feels like a slap in the face. But it's okay. I would say I'm just overall satisfied. I just don't know whether I'm not sure whether I will ever bring this to a tournament actually, because there's so many decks coming out now, and Gramgrace still feels a bit underbaked in a sense, or he can win quite reliably, but it's just not like reliable enough. Like, this deck will just automatically die to, like, I don't know, Messiah.
Yeah. This deck definitely loses to Messiah.
Or Levidras. Because, you know, Levidras will keep putting the marker behind the center back row and you just can't do anything.
But that's if he knows how to play Levidras.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah, so that's basically about it. Yeah, that ends DZBT06. Wow, that feels surreal to say. That it's been one of the most fun and torturous sets of my life. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Platinum as well in DZBT09, right guys? Right? Come on, Kidani. I know you watch my videos. Don't lie to me. I've seen you. You've looked me square in the eye. Put it in. Give me a chance to win Vanguard side. Come on, man. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So you like being slapped in the face? Okay, I'll remember that.